How many more sales would you make if your message was clearly and directly explaining the value that you are going to bring to your ideal client? I know that that is a game changer, but it's really hard to get that message clear when you are so close to it. I spent years trying to figure out how to explain the value and transformation that I can bring to my clients. But after much help, much studying, I finally got it. And I'm here to share that with you because I know how frustrating it is to keep pumping out content, to keep pumping out all of the things that you have to do to try to build your business when ultimately, can you run a business without the clear message? Sure you can. I've met plenty of business owners who've been in business for 20 plus years that did not have a clear message, but they have been running their business. So it doesn't mean that you're going to fail or that you are a failure just because you don't have this clear. But let's emphasize the part of it's so much easier to create content when you know exactly the message you are putting out there is going to click in the mind of your ideal client. Because once it clicks, now all they have to do is really like you and trust you enough to buy from you. So let's break this down. You've probably heard this time and time again. I know I did when I was trying to figure out my messaging and my marketing strategy. I kept looking up, how do I figure out who my ideal client is? That was like the biggest part, right? Because if you don't know who your ideal client is, how do you know what to say to them so that they're actually listening? So unlike the hundreds of videos out there on YouTube or wherever you find them, or the hundreds of templates that have you writing down how much money these people make, how old are they, where do they live, what are their spending habits, unless you're selling an actual physical tangible product, that doesn't necessarily matter when it comes to your copy and your message. So when it comes to your message, we want to know who your ideal client is, but you want to figure out who that person is behind the ideal client. So what consists of an ideal client? An ideal client is going to be someone that you're going to enjoy working with, someone who's going to be happy to pay you, and someone you're going to help reach their goals. So when you kind of take this backwards a little bit, money, the amount of money that someone makes doesn't necessarily mean that they will or will not buy your product, because it matters what their goals are. Because I have known plenty of people, and I've been one of them, that I will purchase a product. Specifically for me, it's been learning products, right? Something that's going to give me more knowledge so I can give more value. I have made it work. I have made it happen. Even though I thought maybe, oh shit, I can't afford this right now. Guess what? It was important enough for me to figure out a way. So someone's income doesn't necessarily matter when it comes to your services. Depends on what you sell, of course, but that's, we'll get into that a little later. What I want you to think about is the kind of person that would qualify as your ideal client. So what goals do they have? How do their goals fit in with your offer? The other thing I want you to think about, because it's really important, if you're going to provide a good service, you also want to enjoy the relationship that you have with that client. So what qualities and personality traits do they possess that mesh well with yours? Once you start figuring that out and writing these down, that gets you a little bit closer to the thoughts that are going through their mind so that you can create copy that grabs and holds their attention. So the other thing that you want to keep in mind when you are thinking about your ideal client is, what are the thoughts that are keeping them up at night? What are they stressing about? What things could be going on in regards to the goals that they have, in regards to the help and transformation that you're going to provide. So start with that. Make your list. Do not skip this step because it's very important to get your clear message. Now that you know who your ideal client is, let's figure out how to talk to them so that they are interested in your offer without you working so hard on it. So what you're gonna do, and this is a recommendation from me as an instructor, I love teaching, and I've always thought whiteboards were so useful when it comes to putting your ideas out there and figuring things out. So I highly recommend that you get a whiteboard or poster board or something substantially large enough so that you can write and you can see it as you pass by, as you're doing other things, because you need to write down several things in order to get your message clear. And this could take probably a week after you write this down for you to start putting those concise, clear words into a message. So the first thing you're gonna write down is the purpose of your offer. So what is it that you do? What is it that you're providing? What's the reason for this? So write that out. Write it out in whatever words feel comfortable to you. The other thing you're going to want to do is write down what the problem is that you solve. So the specific problem. So use words that actually describe that particular problem that you solve. And then the other thing that you want to do, and you're going to write these out, is you're going to write the steps that it takes you to start with someone and then to create the transformation. So you're going to write all of these out clearly so you can see them and you can ponder them. And then once you have this out and you've pondered them, trust me, don't do this in one day unless it just comes like that to you. Just start playing with this. Now you can write things out. I love writing by hand personally. I have a tablet with a pencil, or you can have a journal that you use for the same stuff all the time so that you don't lose it, right? Those were my recommendations as a business consultant that when I used to do that. But yeah, so write down these, try to pick out the words that stand out to you the most. You've done all this parts of the exercise. Now you're just condensing it. So that's what you're going to work on. You're going to work on condensing this message into a very clear and concise one sentence paragraph. So it should be like a healthy sentence. You want it to have enough information that your ideal client can see this through your marketing content, through on your website, on any of your messaging that you put out there. And that's basically it. So if you need help with this, I know I did. Sometimes you need an outside source. Sometimes you just need another set of eyeballs to see what you wrote and see if it makes sense and see if it's clear. Ask people, does this make sense? Do you understand what I do? That is how you build your message. This is not an overnight thing. So don't be hard on yourself if it's taken you years to get to this point. But if you need help beyond that, I am here for you, because for 3 years, I'm 5 years into this now, copywriting and brand storytelling. But I had to take that long to study copywriting, to study marketing, to study hypnotic writing, so that I can figure this out and make this easier for other people to understand. So if you need help beyond this video, please reach out to me. I am always here for you. All you have to do is email me or send me a message on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, ambitious AF with 2 underscores at the end, or you can email me directly at priscilla@ambitiousafcopywriting.com. Good luck.